I thought it was easy. We should have done it upstairs.
Quiet.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leonard Squire, and I'll be talking about violence in video games. As you know very well, video games has been around for like a very long time. Some can be pleasant for others, such as winning or getting good rewards, and bad times it can be losing, such as getting killed a lot, like in Call of Duty. But there is a certain line for that. And for that, I'm going to tell you all about from swatting to anger or how to prevent it at least. Now, the term swatting, as the name implies, means like people, or common people at least, hackers, will call 911 dispatch to prank on other people, such as YouTubers, which I'll explain about later a bit. Yeah, swatting is they call 911 dispatch. The SWAT team will come in, control the situation, trying to grab you and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. It was like a prank from 2013, but now it became very serious as more and more keep going. As the YouTuber I mentioned, his name or username WhiteBoy7th Street, he got swatted because someone became jealous of him, of his subscribers, all his money, a girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the guy snitched on him. He got arrested. They even brought in the dog, and he actually had weed in his house. Yeah, pretty stupid. But the point is, things can go beyond the line of violence. It's not really count as violence in video games, but it really does count as violence in the gaming industry, as you are already aware. Next is anger. There's like I said before, you lose a lot, you get a little frustrated and upset. That's basically common. But things can get a bit too far. From my experience, you'll say throw a game out the window, or trying to hit somebody, or take it out on somebody else, and then there's trash talking. I'm gonna censor myself, so these are some common trash talkings. You piece of beep, I can do better than that. Your mom's so fat I could shake the earth. Sorry, best Yo Mama joke I can come up with. And then there's the whole girls gamers thing too. I'll explain that a bit. Girl gamers, not gamers, but the point is, your anger just take it out on anybody. For girls, it'd be go make me a sandwich. That's the most common one. Or you should go back to the strip club or the whorehouse. Yeah. And then there's threats. And there's I might as well tell you about PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. They have these PlayStation Network and Xbox Live are kind of like an online thing, which you chat with your friends, play together, all that kind of stuff. They have a function called the voicemail function for Xbox only, and a messaging for the PlayStation. For Xbox, you leave a voicemail to that person, and that's about it. What I'm talking about is threats. Death threats, I'll kill you, I'll stalk you, I'll kill all your family and stuff, which is really wrong, by the way. And for PlayStation, you just leave messages. The next one is on how to prevent anger, or how to control it at least. For ignoring it, you just, take a break from the game, or at least say for Call of Duty, you hear someone on the voice chat. Oh yeah. Call of Duty has things like voice chat, which you talk to other people. But there's a function which you can actually disable them. You can just mute them, or at least ignore them so that way they won't bother you as much. Heck, you can even report them. Basically, all video games have a report function. So if someone is bothering you or something like that, you just instantly hit the report button and that's it. They'll leave you alone. Or you can simply delete the messages itself. Or basically just don't play the game at all. That's the most common thing of all, but most people just think that I'm going to get them next time, but the more they keep doing it, the more likely they're going to hurt others and themselves, basically. As Brad Bushman, a professor of communication of science and psychology, pointed a few things out about violence in video games. One thing is that exposure to violent video games is that he says that violent video games increase the crime rate. I think it's kind of true. That's basically the whole point of my speech. That violent video games can sometimes make people more angry, as according to Alice Park, who wrote an article called Little by Little Why Video Games Make Us More Aggressive, where she pointed a few things out. Like, for example, she did a response for Chris Ferguson, who actually responded back to Bushman, coincidentally enough. She pointed out that it is true, and I quote, she said that it is true that he did point out a few things, but, and I quote, failed to account for other factors that can contribute to aggression, such as violence at home, abuse, and mental illness, which is actually kind of true, because most people can't really distinguish from virtual to reality, according to procon.org, which is a site for pros and cons. I only read for the pros side, which is basically helps me. They say that the increased reports for bullying, increased involvement of more like school shootings, like I said, confusion from virtual to reality, and pleasure, happiness, and painting others, which basically means like trolling, trash talking, insults, and all that kind of stuff. In conclusion, I like to warn y'all about the violence in video games. All I'm saying is that you should really be careful of what you say or what you do. Otherwise, other people will be hurt and be harmed in the process. Even though I have my fair share of experience, you just gotta think about the other person instead of yourself. You could actually make the other person kill themselves, and that leaves a heavy burden in your heart, especially your wife. Well, I hope y'all like the speech. How much did it take? Wow.